It is Monday, July 6, 2020. I'm Pastor Thor Ramsey, and this is Gospel for Five, where we take 5 minutes out of our day and focus on the gospel and the one who saved our souls. This last week at the playground, I was there with my 2.5-year-old. Well, he's actually older than 2.5 now, but anyway, I was there with a toddler, and there was another little kid there about the same age, maybe about 3 years old, and he looks up at me and he goes, "I don't like your face." I don't know what you say to that. I'm sorry. I had actually had nothing to do with my face, so it was not intentional. But that's why we focus so much on the gospel itself and these tenets of the gospel, these doctrines of the gospel, things like justification, because daily, if not hourly, if not moment by moment, we are bombarded with accusations that just generally press down on us and try to discourage us, try to make us feel like we are always working from a deficit in terms of our relationship with the Lord. Like we are always, in a sense, I know that I focus on this so much because it feels like for most of my Christian life, I've been trying to overcome this feeling that God is always continually displeased with me. And that comes from what? Just being a sinner, being conscious of your sinfulness, being conscious of the fact that you have a face some people just don't like. So we're focusing on being sons and daughters of God, which really has to do with the gospel itself. Again, we've been looking at Hebrews 10:14 in the New International Version, which says, "By one sacrifice he has made perfect forever those who are being made holy." It's good to remember 4 things about justification. In justification, something is taken away. Christ's death in our place, substitutionary atonement, secures for us the forgiveness of past, present, and future sins. Now that in itself should let us know we're never working from a deficit, and yet the Christian life is played in the spiritual battlefield of our emotions. So something is taken away and something is given. Christ's perfect obedience to the law, righteousness, is credited to us as our own righteousness. This is one of those mind-boggling truths that is just so hard for us to grasp emotionally. Because what it's really saying, and I've said this before, but I feel like we just don't grasp it emotionally. At least I know I don't. Some days I do, but those are the days I really grasp the gospel. I mean, by faith and just believe it. But it's saying that in God's sight, we are as righteous as Jesus Christ this very moment. Now, that is hard to get our minds around because it doesn't feel that way, does it? So the third thing that's good to remember about justification is this is a once-for-all time legal act. He died once for sins, the righteous for the unrighteous, and that was enough to accomplish all these things. And the fourth thing is that it is received by grace through the instrument of faith alone, and it is not tied to our performance. Faith is like an electrical cord in your home. It's the instrument through which the power of electricity travels. The cord is not the power. In the same way, faith is the instrument through which the power of the Holy Spirit works. Many times people confuse faith with the power itself. Psalm 34:5 says, "Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame." And if we really grasp these 4 truths of justification, something is taken, something is given. But when we really grasp those 4 truths, it does make us radiant. Our faces become radiant because that's our inward state then. We actually emotionally alter. We emotionally change when we believe the gospel. Now, what has God said to you today? And what do you